Your team choked.
Oh,
Your team choked. Yeah, nah, fuck out of here. Your team choked in the Super Bowl. When's the last time I seen the Cowboys in a playoff game? Come on. We won a chip, and everybody's mad.
That's called hitting a
Yeah. What's up?
This program. This is a national emergency. Important instructions will follow.
Episode 1, Unofficial Experts.
Try to be an expert at everything.
Little bit of everything.
You know,
Fingers in a lot of places.
we just, but it's just really about covering topics, and giving our unofficial expert opinion
Right there.
on life and current events, sports,
Right there, my
a
phone.
little bit of everything. You know, I try to be a
Give it to me.
a jack of all trades, master of none kind of thing, right?
Podcast.
At least that's gonna be my take on things.
Yeah, I mean, I think one of the oldest things known is that ball players want to be rappers want to be ball players, right?
That's a fact.
I feel like as a fan of both, you could kind of live a similar lifestyle.
Yeah.
That some guys, they don't have the schedules to make, you know what I'm saying? Their schedules are too much where they can't. But we can. Like, we can invest in the music and invest in sport.
Absolutely.
So I think that's going to be our take on it. I think that's the show in a nutshell, I think.
That's a fact.
Yeah, because my whole thing is that I love that we're just touching on, like, everything when it comes to, like, what's going on in the world, what's going on in sports, what's going on in music. And we're so well-rounded that we could touch on different sports, different genres of music, and we know what's going on in different countries, even our country, whatever the case is, you know? Yeah.
And I mean, shit, even if you don't know what's going on, that's what we hear about. Let's talk about it. Let's find out. I'm asking questions.
Yeah.
I'm doing all kind of things,
This
you know?
This is an open, free range kind of deal.
But I think maybe, you know what, we're going to start off with something common, everybody. You know, we'll talk about this Drake Rap Radar interview because I thought it was almost something that Drake had to do. You know, at the end of the day, I feel like he had to do it. But it was genuine at the same time, you know, because a lot of things felt forced. Like, you know, he didn't really respond in the Pusha beef, and so I felt like that was a talking point that he actually wanted to talk about. You know what I mean? Like, it was that kind of stuff that I felt like maybe he didn't. He didn't. It was almost like he probably orchestrated the interview.
Oh no!
Yeah,
well, when it's your
this shit.
cameramen, like,
you know,
it's your producers, it's your.
So
I mean,
there
first
were
of
no
all, it's
surprises.
It came out. It came out on his channel. Like, yeah, I think he knew exactly what he wanted to do, what his image needed. I would say, in answering certain things, because a lot of the time you can't catch him for saying something to the media. He's kind of low key.
Yeah,
in that
well,
sense
he's like
where
media trained.
It's
you know
almost
what
as
I'm saying?
if unless he's at a Toronto Raptors game, you're not gonna see him address media like that. He's gonna be addressing the TNT crew and all them. When they talk to him more than he talks to like music media. You know what I'm saying?
His image is definitely cleaned up, but I mean, every now and then he'll say something. You know, I watched the whole interview, and there was a couple of things that he said that I'm like, you know what, that's really how he feels. Like when he was talking about the whole Pusha beef, right? Yeah. He starts saying how he used to like Pusha. He was a fan of his.
Well, yeah.
Because back then, when the Clips were doing grinding back in the early 2000s. He was a young kid, and he actually believed his bars. It was a specific quote. He said, I like to listen to guys that I believe. That's why he doesn't ever mess with Pusha as an artist. He said other artists he had beef with, he still liked them, like Meek and Chris Brown. You know, he respects them as an artist, but he said he doesn't even like Pusha because he just doesn't believe him, you know. And that was obviously a shock because they're talking about each other. But I feel like he really feels like that, though. You know, he don't really listen to people that he doesn't believe. And, you know, I feel the same way. That's why that stuck out to me. I'm like, you know what? I'm the same kind of guy. If I can't believe what you're telling me, I don't care You know what I mean? Like how the beat could be hard and it may be a good song at first, but if it's coming from a guy that you know it's not the truth, how it doesn't resonate. Yeah, it doesn't resonate.
Well,
exactly.
well, the main thing about the interview that I got is like, you know, one of the most interesting things that I thought is like what he was inspired by. Like he was inspired by T-Pain and 50 Cent to sing.
Yeah,
facts.
Like how you
21 questions.
You know, I could see T-Pain, but 50 Cent though, you know what I'm saying, to like really start like, you know, that whole singing and the whole
I think
melodic vibe and stuff like that. Like that
the
was
reason why it hit him like that was
interesting.
50 Cent was the most gangster nigga on the planet at one
Right.
point. You know what I'm saying? So
to
for
sing.
him to sing,
Yeah, that was big.
that's
that was
big. So like, you don't have to. Even people that fit that demographic are gonna love those type of records. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Yeah.
All it takes is one influential person to do something, and everybody. It's okay all of a sudden for other people to do it too. You know.
Yeah.
And that's what it was. It was a big gangster. You know, 50 Cent was a murderer in the early 2000s, right?
Yeah.
He was crazy gangster. And
Yeah,
so
but
his
all
image
but
with
all his
singing,
hooks
it
was
crazy.
fire too, cause they was all like mad, like
Melodic.
you know, melodic, like like they was all
It was that like Max B sound, you know, a gangster who was able to sound melodic.
Right.
you
my
know,
son
that's-
Max
50
B.
50
That's
rare.
my
I think
son. I
50's
can't wait till
music-
Max get out.
50's music for
Crazy.
or ear for music is probably underrated.
No, yeah,
Yeah, no, I would say
Like,
so too, because
to build G Unit the way he did, and
Yeah.
it fit the way it did.
yeah,
They had that run. Like you can never take that run from them. So
nah,
it's-
you're right, because even with his first album, bro, Get Rich or Die Trying, like it's not 50's not gonna bar you to death with nothing, but it was a fire album because the production and his timing on tracks, you know, just his timing with shit and the way he would sound with his voice and everything like that, you know, he's got an ear for that. You're absolutely right, man. But yeah, that Drake Rap Radar interview, man, it was
it was
felt like
crazy
something,
because
you know,
one
he had
thing
to do.
one thing that I didn't even know was that Trippie Redd was actually supposed to be on God's Plan, which is crazy. I didn't even realize that.
Yeah,
What was it though? Was it?
And honestly, I don't think it would have went diamond if Trippie Redd was on it. I think it. You know what I'm
I
saying?
mean, yeah. Who
Did
who
Drake
know-
really explain like how that went though? Like, was it a situation
Nah,
where
he
Trippie
sent
Redd
it to
got
him.
taken off and like on some
Nah,
grind
Nah,
shit?
he
he
sent it
just
to
never
yeah.
returned
He just.
Oh, so that
he
was
just
on
never
him.
It's
returned
on
it.
him,
You know what I
like,
mean?
and that's
Yeah.
what like the Drake made light of it and
Yeah.
was like, oh, you guys can stop bashing Trippie for missing out, I guess, on that opportunity.
Exactly.
But
yeah, that's that. Well,
You can never like
I was just gonna say,
you
know,
can never plan
Yeah.
that. You can never plan a song that
that's
hit.
something
Yeah.
he's gonna kick
And
his
I,
ass with.
I, first off, I think the genius behind the timing of when Drake dropped the interview is just to put a stamp on 10 years.
Yeah, no,
I feel like he's like, all right, all these answers to these questions that have been in all of your minds
Yeah.
for years,
Yeah.
I'm
Nah,
going to
that-
have an interview about it.
that's a
And
good
I'm going to
point.
drop it right before the new year.
I was just gonna say it was late December, and it was ill because you're right. It was at the end of the decade, and around that time, for whatever reason, I mean, for good reason, he was getting all these Artists of the Decade awards from
Yep.
different Billboard and this
Yep.
and that. He must have got. I must have seen like 5 different Artists of the Decade award that Drake must have got voted for.
Yeah.
And so it was perfect timing. He does this interview
Yeah.
and he gets to
Yo,
talk
there,
about
like there was
himself and
there was
tell
there was
everybody,
just so
you know,
much.
like,
Happy
there
to
was
because there
do
was
this to
sometimes
me.
where he was trying to be modest, but
Yeah.
then because like bro, he took credit for Afro beats really popping, you know, with Davido and all of that. And don't get it twisted, like he was on some Afro beat songs, but you know, like to take credit for the reason why it popped off was kind of drastic. I'm like, come on, bro, like don't take credit for it just because you had one song.
To be at this level that it's at now, though, does it reach this without Drake?
The song he's referring to is One Dance, or I mean,
Yeah.
One
Yeah,
Dance. That's
One
a
Dance.
song
That's-
that
yeah,
he's
that's what it
referring
is.
to. Like
How
he felt
big
like
that song
that
got.
it was. It was definitely a big song. You know what I mean? But you know, for him to even, because he said it in the interview, he's like, oh, you know, they're not giving me credit, and he's trying to laugh in his usual Drake style, and I'm like, come on, bro, you can't take credit for that, bro. Like this, stop it. You're already getting sucked by everybody else for everything else. Stop taking
Yo,
credit
man,
for
one
Afro
of the
beats too.
one of
Yeah,
the
man.
one of the
You
funniest things though in that whole entire interview that I found funny was that like Serena Williams was like the reason for him to
Bro,
drop
she
back
put the
to back.
battery in his back.
Like she put the battery
For
in
the-
his
for the
back
Meek
to,
Mill beat.
to
It
yeah.
surprises you that one
for
of
the
the
Meek
most
Mill.
competitive primitive
Yo.
human beings on the planet. She wants him to keep going.
And he
like,
admitted that too. He's like, "Yo, it's Serena, man. She's a competitor, And I'm like, "Yo, Serena put the bat and for the Meek Mill." And I'm like, "Yo, she let him kill Meek Mill. What did she tell him, bro?
Yeah.
Serena's a competitor.
Like,
you know
how
what I mean? Like,
Serena
finish
Williams
it.
like, nah, drop
Stop
that
it.
shit.
Let's get it.
Drop that
You
shit.
know?
What's wrong with you?
She's mad strong. She probably put him against the wall, and you know what I mean.
You better drop that shit.
Yeah.
drop it now.
Facts, bro. But that
Like-
was interesting. I'm like, yo, Serena put the battery in his back.
Nah,
You
nah,
know,
man.
shit.
Yes.
That
funny.
that shit was crazy.
But, I mean, listen.
But
they-
one,
ahead.
but one of the things was too is that like the whole Meek Mill beef thing was over some stupid shit because like they like for real it was over
Nah,
some
that's a
real
fact.
real petty stupid
But
shit.
most of the time nowadays, I feel like it is. You know
Well,
what
I mean,
It
yeah,
always
because
is.
now you
know what I
got
mean?
Twitter and you got
Yeah,
Instagram
but
and people do
it's
lives
camp, too.
and do all
Camp-
that
your
stupid
camp
shit.
will make shit hotter too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Nah, that's a fact.
Yeah.
They just gonna ride for you. They don't know the ins and outs of how like what
Yeah.
conversations have been had. You know what
Nah,
I'm saying?
yeah, that,
Mhm.
And they just see each other on the street, and it's
Yeah,
now you gotta retaliate. Now that's just how it works.
Yeah.
It's your crew sometimes.
Yeah, you gotta hold
They
your
just-
keep that image
yeah,
going.
exactly.
You know, when you're rapping like that. But you know what though? Like that's the thing. And in that whole interview, it was perfect. You know, because he got his due credit. You know, because he definitely had one of the albums of the decade. You know, that I felt.
by
I think
far.
he has
Right?
I think
Yeah,
he has
I
quite,
felt-
quite
yeah,
a few.
yeah, nah,
Yeah,
nah.
well,
he-
that's
on
but
that
but see,
decade list.
but see, this is why for me, I'm not the biggest Drake fan. I'm not even gonna sit out there and lie to nobody. Even though he makes fire songs, and there's songs that I will bump to the day I die that are Drake songs.
Yeah.
I just, I have other favorite artists. You know, I've been listening to rap for a long time. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So like, I just have other favorite artists, and Drake isn't my favorite,
Yeah.
but he definitely got one of the albums of the decade. And for me to say that and give it to him is like obvious.
yeah,
you know,
yeah.
but for
Did you
different
hear?
for other
Did
people.
you hear his two favorite albums that he made?
Yeah. It
Yeah,
was,
Take Care was one of them, and
Nothing was the same.
yeah,
Yeah.
and nothing was the same. I fuck with Take Care. So
I think,
Yeah,
I
nah,
think
that's-
both.
Speaking
I
of
think
that,
both
though,
of
definitely
those.
speaking
one
of
of
that though, what do y'all think is from like 2010 from 2020 is like the most virus albums of the whole decade? The top 10.
To me, man, I have to. I didn't even put it in an order when I was putting it
Nah,
down
yeah,
because
I
I
don't
didn't want to
think you
do it.
gotta
I
put
thought
it
that
in
was
order.
Nah,
crazy.
nah, definitely
but
not.
it's
But
too
you gotta put it
hard.
in
That
order.
that Watch
Yeah.
the Throne album was
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
mean,
nah, that Watch the
yeah.
Throne album
To
was
me, like,
yeah,
that
that
album
was
was
fire. That
dope.
was
You
fire.
put
You know what I mean?
two of the biggest giants in hip hop.
yeah, exactly. You know,
Yeah,
together
like
for a
Ye and Jay,
compilation,
nigga, like
like,
what
That was
you
crazy.
know what I'm saying?
But you know, like,
you
but
understand?
listen, Kendrick popped off this decade. Good Kid, Mad City to me is one of the top albums of the decade. Also, you know, so like there's it. It was just because I was going through lists and looking at all these albums that were made in this decade and stuff, and there was one thing that really jumped out to me. It was crazy to me, bro. But maybe because I may be out of touch. I'm not you know what I mean. I'm not Leor. I'm not listening to everybody all the time, trying to figure out what's the next great, you know, and demographics and shit. I just listen to what I like and I tell you what I like. That's it. But I'm looking at all these lists, bro, and this is the Billboard, and this is Complex and Genius to give out these albums, and bro, Solange was like, she had like a top 15 album for the decade, bro.
Yeah,
like
bro.
she was in front of mad people. I'm like, Solange.
It's
I didn't even know.
whatever
You know what I mean? It
whatever
was different. I'm like, I
whatever
didn't even know.
critically acclaimed means, like
Yeah.
it got titles like that surrounded.
Yeah,
Yeah,
bro, but that Solange album must have been fire, you know.
It,
Shout
bro,
out to her because
sh-
that
super-
shit.
super-
Shout out
every
Solange.
fucking-
Nah, for real.
every
she deserves
every
it.
list.
She
She
deserves
does.
it. I think it's it's like that little sister.
That's what I'm saying. But
Shadow,
that's
Nah,
the reason
yeah.
why I didn't know.
I mean, and
You
it's
know?
crazy though,
You know what I'm
because
saying?
honestly,
That's the
I
reason
can
why I didn't know.
I can say I've never heard that album. I've never heard of it.
Right, that's
You
what
know,
I'm saying.
I've never heard
this
that
is the
album
reason why
in
you
my-
don't, because you
in
just
my
look at
life.
Solange and you think. But I tell you what it's a
You
fact
know what I
though.
mean?
I listened to 2 songs from the shit because I just had to hear something from it, right? Listen, and they were the singles with the videos and shit, and it was different. You know what I mean? It was something, and so I guess it was basically judged from an art perspective in hip hop.
Yeah.
You know, some people just like the whole artsy, different kind of look and vibe to the
Yeah.
sound. You know what I mean? Like, so I think it was probably voted on that 10, but she was up there, bro.
I think
Solange was
anytime
definitely
you
up
make
there.
a project that
Yeah.
that kind of makes its own genre, like you
Facts.
can't really pin it to nothing. Like it's not
Yeah.
really R&B, but it's not really like soul.
Yeah.
Or,
But you know
you
what?
kind
though?
of got to make your own shit too.
Exactly. But so you know that's a couple, and like I said, I'm not even the Drake crazy guy, but Drake is on my list twice, bro. But one of them is with Future though, because the What It's Time to Be Alive album is fire to me. So I could bump that anywhere, anytime. There's the tracks are crazy. Like it's
do you think part 2's coming out soon?
Yeah, but
I mean, I hope part 2 coming out. I mean, Drake said, what did he say? That he's too old or they're too old to do that shit or whatever the case is.
Oh, you're not gonna see me with another Future. What a Time to Be Alive. We're not gonna make that. I'm like, all right. And then
I have a baby now.
2 weeks later, he drops the Life Is Good
nigga?
with him. You know what I mean?
Better drop that shit.
Like,
you better drop that shit, nigga. I ain't fucking around with you, nigga. You looking at you right now.
This nigga wants that shit.
Care about your baby. You better have your baby in the studio, nigga. You better have breast milk in the studio fridge.
I feel you.
40. Get the breast milk. I need this.
I want to hear that shit too.
Yeah, I think the streets definitely want that. Like,
nah,
Future and Drake.
Yo.
It kind of you get everything you want.
Yeah.
Listen, Future's tough, bro.
You get everything you want.
Future's tough. I even put one of Future album in my top 10, bro. The Dirty Sprite 2. I threw that in there.
You know what's crazy though? Like, look.
On that album, bro.
All right. So my top 10 is Dark Twisted Fantasy.
That's a good time. Like, that's a good time.
That shit is crazy, but we have to pick 10, and 10 is hard.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? 10's real hard. I felt like it was hard.
Albums.
Because look, I got Dark Twisted Fantasy, I got Astro World, I got Birds in the Trap. I got Travis up there twice.
Yeah, that's
you know, I got I got Good Kid, Mad City. I got Trap Soul, Bryson Tiller, Forest Hill Drive, What a Time to Be Alive, Watch the Throne, and The Life of Pablo. Those are my 10 albums of the whole decade that I feel like is.
I think we share probably like 6 of them, you know, which is great. But that Bryson Tiller, you sure about Bryson Tiller?
Yeah, what? Oh man,
he had a wave.
No, like literally every single song.
Bryson Tiller fell into that. Made such a it's a classic album.
Yeah, because
it's his first album.
I feel like you could play from A to B.
Not everybody can bounce back.
He had that moment in time. Some people capture that for their first album.
And he did that. He had it. Did all the numbers. It was, you know what I'm saying? He was huge.
What year did that come out in?
That came out in like 2016.
Yeah, 2016.
Yeah,
2016.
So what do you think about
like 20
cents? Right?
I mean,
you know what I mean?
I mean,
yeah, it's like, what have you done for me lately? I guess, but
yeah, a lot.
But
that's just music now.
Yeah,
period.
that's just music. Period. But you know,
2015 Trap Soul.
But the way he came in, it's like he kind of like has a core fan base now, and like, you know, people really expect shit from him, like on some Frank Ocean shit.
Yeah, I think
you know what I mean.
He does fit that similar Frank Ocean type.
Yeah,
there's one on my decade list right there, Frank Ocean with Channel Orange.
Yo, it's crazy because like I said, I wanted to put Tory Lanez. I wanted to put Tory Lanez's album.
He smoked that whole shit.
Nigga.
Yeah, Frank.
That whole shit.
Frank Ocean's definitely different, bro.
Nah, man, Frank Ocean is definitely different.
You know,
I knew your shit was gonna be a little bit different though, because you on some soft nigga shit.
R&B vibe.
Never.
Singing melodies. But you know what a definite is though that I think might be at the top for me was probably one of the craziest was the Dark Twisted Fantasy.
Obviously. That's definitely at the top. Like you know what I'm saying? Like everybody may call Kanye an asshole, but when it comes to music, nigga, you can't deny that shit.
Yeah, no, he's got a.
You know what I'm saying? Like you can't deny that shit. Like people call Floyd an asshole, but nigga, you fucking get in the ring with him, you ain't winning.
Yeah, nah, you ain't.
Dead ass.
That's what I'm saying. You know, they might not be your best friend, but when they get into that creative setting, bro, Kanye's different.
Yeah, he's different. He's different. He's a musical genius. He is a musical.
So
genius.
There's a lot of things he does. I'll be like, yo, this nigga's.
But his level of musical genius is the reason why his leash is as long as it is.
Exactly.
Yeah, no,
we let him get away with everything. We let him get away with.
And he's the reason why honestly I feel like in this decade, like we've got so much good music because he was the number one influencer.
Oh, bro, the level.
You know what I'm saying?
The level of production,
like
that he started, it was different, bro.
Yeah. That's
the
thing,
sampling
bro.
and
the timing on his bait. That when the timing on his shit was totally right, bro. Because I'll tell you what, bro. The Runaway when he did the MTV performance when he goes out with the red suit on, bro, and just destroys that, bro. And
Oh.
it was different. It was just him by himself with the box and just murdered that shit, bro. Classic. You know what I mean? And so it's
Run
times
away.
like that, yeah.
Run away from me,
wildin'.
baby.
Yeah. Who got
that nigga was
he was
wild.
ripping
bugging.
that.
Yeah, nah, he was
stupid
bugging, he was
and
bugging.
everything. And
Yeah.
so
He was
but you're
bugging.
right. You know, moments like that were unforgettable with him, man. He is. You know what I mean? Like Kanye's for sure. He's
I think,
tough.
I think to what you said, mine might be a little different, but like my 10 no order obviously is Trap Soul, Astro World, Forest Hills Drive, Take Care, Good Kid, Mad City, Nothing Was the Same, Dark Twisted Fantasy, 444, Channel Orange, and Trilogy by The Weeknd.
All right, yo, listen. I have something to say about 4-4. Like, I ain't fuck with it. I didn't fuck with it. I'm sorry. I feel like
Hove and
listen, you know me. I'm one of the biggest Hove fans. But listen, bro. Like, if any other artist would have came out with that at that time, let's say Big Sean would have came out with that type of album, niggas would have been like, what?
I mean, yeah.
You know what I mean? But just for the fact that it's Jay-Z, he gets away with
Nah, but
I don't know, man.
It is Jay-Z that it is
wordplay on
right. That's what I'm
Like, were
saying.
you
Like
listening?
I was
Yeah,
listening.
like,
I was
That's
listen.
why I liked it because
I don't know,
444,
bro.
he
I don't
brought
know.
it back
It's
with those
exactly
bars.
what the culture needed
Yeah.
at that time too.
Yeah, the OJ
Yeah.
and all. You know
He
what
need
I mean?
yo.
Like, it
He
was
felt
ill.
like that. To me, that's his OG tape. Like that's like yo, I'm the OG. Like I'm gonna talk to y'all.
Alright, so wait until it just runs out, and then there's the charger underneath my desk and shit like that.
And then we'll break.
Yeah. We could break and
Yeah.
come. You know what I'm saying?
But yeah, man, I like the 444.
it was all over that shit. Yo.
I can't say I don't like the 444.
Alright.
That's-
So now for the next 10 years, who do y'all see it being like the next, like, you know, female and male artists for the next 10 years?
Oh, wait.
So like the king and queen
Yeah.
for the next decade.
Yeah.
Well, see,
The next Drake and Nicki.
All right. So yeah, I was gonna say. So who is your this
Yeah.
to wrap up this decade? It was I think definitely Drake and Nicki.
Yeah, no,
yeah,
definitely.
male, female.
No,
absolutely.
definitely. Drake and Nicki wrapped
Yeah.
up this decade. But I feel like the next decade is gonna be Travis. I feel like he's gonna be that
'cause he has
man
the
for the
youth.
next 10 years.
He has the youth
But
too.
but when it comes to females, I don't really see any females because it's like they come and be gone tomorrow. Like they can be hot for 6 months, 2 years, 3 years, and then we get another Meg Stallion, and then we get to Cardi B, and then there's no
Yeah, but they're
solid. Like
staying around
Nicki was
now.
the last of her to do what
Cardi,
she did.
But niggas are staying
I
around.
feel like-
Cardi's staying around. Like
Is she
Yeah,
staying
nah,
around
she
like
is.
Nicki stood around
no,
though?
Cardi's
like
big.
I
Bro.
think. Yeah,
I'm not
Cardi's
saying that
doing
she's not
big.
The Latin
Yeah, she's-
songs and
yeah, bro,
she's-
look.
She can
she's
hit
all
a
over-
different lane
Yeah.
that Nicki can't
I don't
hit.
know.
Bro, Cardi's getting bumped in
The
all
same
of
way,
South
the
America.
same way
know.
Nicki could do.
She's
the
always-
rap
she's
and
always
the
gonna be
pop
good,
shit.
but
Yeah.
she not
Cardi
always-
could do the rap
she
and the reggaeton
Right.
shit, like the.
Exactly.
But she's looked at as like an icon, nigga. Like Nicki's looked at as like an icon. Like I don't
In-
feel
in
like
rap.
Cardi's ever gonna worldwide. Like people look up to Nicki Minaj, nigga. Like you know what I'm saying? I don't feel like Cardi B will ever reach that level that Nicki did,
I bet-
and no other female in the next decade would. You know what I'm saying?
I think Cardi B's
Like,
on her way, to be honest.
That's
with you. I feel like
different.
she is because you know what it is with Cardi too, bro. She just seems like more of a genuine person. Like
Facts.
when she does interviews
Facts.
and all kind of crazy, like she just seems
No, she
genuine.
definitely
I
is
like that
genuine.
about her.
No,
Right,
she's definitely genuine.
She's not. She may
I'm not
say
say-
something
look.
or it may
Yeah,
sound
but
bad
it's
when she
honest,
says it, but
though.
it's
Yeah,
genuine.
but
you know what I
yeah.
mean? And that's why people like her
Because
But-
it's such a rarity now.
exactly.
So that's why it's so attractive. That's why she's shot to as big as she's become
Nah,
that fast.
that's a fact.
Yeah.
Because she's genuine, bro.
That's
It didn't
definitely
matter
a
what
fact.
she was on, Love and Hip Hop, in a strip club, anywhere. She's Cardi B. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
For on the male aspect though, I mean, I feel like Roddy Ricch is on the rise too, man. I feel
Oh
like
man, yeah,
Ricch
Roddy
is
Roddy
going-
Rich is
is-
definitely on the rise. He's gonna be
he's
like-
next up type of material.
like you
he's
like
coming,
like you know
what I mean? The man is
how
on his way.
in like this decade when like this past decade it was like Kendrick, Drake, and J. Cole. Those was like the what I'm saying.
Same three.
Yeah, like the same three. Like I said, I feel like Travis is gonna be one of them. And no funny Tory. You know what I'm saying? Like
Tory's nice.
Tory's gonna be. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
nah,
I
fuck with
hand
Tory.
delivered
Yeah.
a lot of
JID
these packages.
too. A lot of people
You know what I
really,
mean?
you know what I'm saying? A lot of
You
people
feel
don't
me,
pay attention
Tay?
to
A lot of
JID,
these
but I feel like
packages.
JID is out there. Jid is
Real
Jid is
quick
coming.
too. Let me shout out everyone here. Shout out to Tay.
Yo, let me
Yay
shout
Yodi.
Holding it down.
my son
Behind the
Ayodi behind the
Uh-huh.
camera. You know what I'm saying? Liz,
Melissa
what's up?
Stan,
What's up?
Young Seafood.
My son A right here.
My
Uh-huh,
son.
my man.
Hey,
I haven't seen him in like 10 years, but
know-
every time I see him, it's love. I swear to God.
you know it's real. You
God.
know it's real when you go by one letter, man.
That's it. Word.
Yeah.
Hey,
fact.
That's
Hey.
a good point.
And
Hey.
it's the first one.
That's a good point. A lot of people know you by one letter.
Facts.
You know what I mean?
Facts.
That's Mike. That's LeBron.
Yeah. I just wish
By
they had a
one
nickname
thing.
like that.
No,
sometimes.
it's just
fact.
one name, and it's your name. Kobe,
But you see, but that's hip hop though, man.
Messi,
Yeah.
It used to be niggas naming
Ronaldo.
names used to be
Like,
crazy.
Yeah,
when
but
you
now-
go by
but
one
now
name,
it's more
you're a
regular.
But
certified
you know,
killer.
but you know what's
You're
coming
a
back.
killer, nigga. You're a killer. You've done Serena, nigga. What?
Niggas go by
These
one
people
name,
are my
you know.
Yeah.
Pele,
Pele.
Picasso.
By one name.
Floyd.
Ronaldo.
That's a fact.
That's it.
When you go by one name,
Ronaldo.
Tyson.
Facts, Tyson.
Come on, man.
Yo.
When you
really-
transition to one name, that's legendary status.
Yeah, you made a lane for yourself. Absolutely.
Yo, son,
You
that's a
have a
fact.
franchise.
That's a fact. That's like
can brand
yo,
yourself.
there's
You
like
You're marketable.
You can make bread for
bro,
the
there's
rest
a
of
lot
your
of
life.
Yeah.
there's a lot of fighters that fucking made mad bank off of just one name. You know what I'm saying? Cowboy.
I think if you're good at anything, you're known
Niggas
as one
just
name.
Cowboy.
Yo, you know what I mean?
But I'm saying it's different with these
Like,
guys. 'Cause These guys
it's
is one
Cowboy.
name is their name still. Though.
Yeah, facts. Yeah.
It's their name, whether
Yeah,
first
like,
or
it-
last
yeah.
or some variation.
Like it's no nickname, it's their
Yeah,
it's
it's
their
a-
actual fucking
like it's
name.
their name.
Yeah.
Mike.
Mike.
Like, you know who that is. Like
Yeah.
if you have to explain who Mike is to somebody, they're probably not somebody you should be having a
My
conversation.
son
with.
Al Horford, his first name is just Al.
Al.
Nigga Al. Yo, Al.
Some niggas ain't you ain't get blessed with the
Yo.
Nah, sometimes it doesn't work out for everybody.
Nah,
Yeah,
That's
nah.
life though.
Son,
Nah, bro,
I really
for real.
feel like these Titans are gonna really beat the fucking Chiefs.
No, man, the Titans and they better because I got my FanDuel, man. I'm about to win the 30 cash. What you talking about, baby? Yeah, right, get that right in the round. Get him.
That's the thing, Ryan.
Nah,
is
he
doing
got
it.
the wheels. He got the
Bro.
wheels.
Oh.
He just put his.
He
put
got
his
the
head
wheels.
down.
He got the
doesn't give a
wheels.
shit.
Yeah, I mean,
Hey, he's a guy.
why would like
Who do y'all think is the top 3 quarterbacks in the NFL right now? Like youngest quarterbacks. And
Well,
then
alright.
you know what I'm saying?
I'll-
Youngest
I'll throw
quarterbacks that
3
y'all
out
think
there.
is like how we said that like how I said Travis might be the top, you know, for the next 10 years.
youngins
So who,
coming up.
Who do you think is
Yeah, no,
Nah,
see,
yeah.
That's the thing. I
Yeah.
feel like we're watching one of them. in
Oh yeah,
Patrick.
we're definitely
And
watching one of them.
To be honest with you, bro, I'll throw it. It's gonna be to me Patrick, Lamar, and Deshaun, man.
Deshaun
Those are the
Watson is
3
my
that I'll
son.
say that
Yeah.
He's
I
a
got
beast.
confidence.
Yeah.
He's
You
a
know what I mean?
he's something. I think Deshaun Watson out of all of them is just amazing to me.
It doesn't
Yeah.
sound so great to
Like-
say it after Lamar Jackson lost last week, you know, but I feel what he did, bro, all season and just what he's capable of doing, because, you know, he's more than just a runner. He's throwing. I've seen him rainbow.
No,
a couple
Deshaun
of-
Watson. I said.
Oh no, no.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah. Well, Deshaun Watson, bro, he's probably
He's a
the
machine.
best
He's
dual
a-
threat out of all of them because
out of
he's
all
a
of
better
them.
passer than Lamar and he's a better runner
Than Patrick
He
Mahomes,
reads
yeah.
You know?
defenses like codes in the Matrix.
It's
That's
ridiculous.
what it like.
Yeah.
And he
This
has the
one
best
play.
receiver
His
in the
post game
league.
interviews be incredible.
I feel like DeAndre Hopkins is the best receiver in the league. Like yo, he was catching
Alright.
shit from Matt
Alright,
Schaub and
alright.
and you know what I'm saying?
There's a bad man in Atlanta.
Yeah.
There's a bad man in Atlanta. A real bad man.
I mean, Julio
think
Jones
that
is
Matt
nice,
Ryan-
but you know what though?
You think Matt?
I'm not talking-
you think Julio Jones is better than
Julio Jones is
DeAndre
the best
Hopkins?
receiver in football.
You're
Let's
an
get it,
Atlanta
let's-
fan though. That's the thing.
Yeah.
you know?
But I'm also a football
Like
fan.
that's
And I'm
like me
also
saying
a
that,
real person.
Alshon Jeffrey,
Like with a pretty
Alshon
decent,
Jeffrey, the best.
Like,
Yeah.
because I'll say I like, even though the stats don't show it, man. I feel Odell Beckham is, bro. I like Odell, man. You know, and I'm a Cowboy fan, which makes me want to hate Odell because he played for the Giants, obviously, and the Browns now. But I like Odell, son. He can do.
I think
He's dangerous.
I
when he
think
gets
you're
that
you're
rock.
you're looking at talent.
Yeah. That
Yeah.
is what I'm looking
Rather
at.
You're
than
probably
resume.
looking at.
That is what I'm looking at.
Probably
That's
looking at
absolutely
talent.
what I'm
Because
looking
then if
at.
you're looking at talent, then I don't blame you for looking at the talent and seeing what-
Because receivers is so different. Like
Bro,
now,
he can take a
like-
slant to the house all the time.
Yeah, but
A slant.
I think receivers have to be in the right system in order to flourish. Like, don't get it twisted. Like, there's definitely some receivers you can put them on any team, like the Antonio Browns and Randy Mosses and people like those. You can put them on any team and they can make a huge impact.
You didn't even
But
say your guy. T.O.?
See how
That's-
he did,
that's-
and he made the biggest
his
impact.
guy.
He went to,
He's no
right, but he
longer.
took his team to a Super Bowl though. You know
And
what I
it's
mean?
not love.
Listen,
Took his
no,
team
no,
to on one
listen.
leg.
He
It's not
performed
love.
on one leg.
Listen,
on one leg and it's not
one
love.
leg. Donovan
yeah, but
McNabb
the locker
throwing
room
up.
says it all.
McNabb
This
throwing up, he's
goes
out of
back,
shape.
This goes back to
the-
what we were saying
the
off
impact
camera.
of the
Right.
locker room
Before we
says it
started
all.
this
That's
goes
a
back
fact.
to what we were saying.
Tell him.
Matt is the fakest, fake loyal fan I've ever known, bro.
He just proved it.
It's
right
just
here.
he just proved
He
it.
just proved
It's he's loyal to the organization,
How you-
which you would think usually it's the other way around. You fucking hate some of
Yeah.
the organizational
Nah,
moves
no,
your
that's
teams
what
make,
I'm saying.
but you love the team, like all the players and shit. Nah,
But
Matt's
no,
the opposite.
listen.
Matt's go organization,
Yep.
fuck the players.
Nah,
Well, it
listen.
is weird though because
No,
you'll
because with
call
T.O. is
somebody
valid.
a
Because
Philly-
everywhere
a
he
Philly
went,
person.
like not to say he purposely did it, because niggas really liked him in the locker room. He wasn't bad or whatnot, or like nothing like that. But the whole thing is that he always made like a little bit of controversy. He was a little bit too much of a diva,
he
crying that
brought
he didn't
you
get the
to a
ball too
Super
much.
Bowl.
He
He brought you to a Super Bowl
right.
on one
He
leg.
brought you there, and all Donovan had to do was stay the course, and he started throwing up in the fourth quarter, as we all know. He was out of shape. And T.O. with the ACL came back from the ACL in 1 year, or was it? I don't know.
Hey,
it was
at the end of the
leg
day,
injury.
your team choked.
Oh,
Your team choked. Yeah, nah, fuck out of here. Your team choked in
I
the
know, I
Super
know,
Bowl.
I know, I
When's
know.
the last time I seen the Cowboys in a playoff
upset.
game?
He's upset.
Come on.
Yeah.
We
What
won
do
a
you mean,
chip,
last year?
and everybody's mad.
That's called hitting a
Yeah.
Yeah,
What's
that's
up?
upset.
At the end of the day.
He's
Yes,
What's
I am.
up?
Yes, I am an Atlanta Falcons fan. Dirty Birds, Mike Vick,
Real
Warwick
dirty.
Dunn, Algie Crumpler days. Let's get it. You know what I mean? And yes, I went through that, and I went through it sitting next to a Patriots fan.
Yeah, nah, that's the worst
So
thing.
the
when you
level
sit
of
next to
pain
a
I've
Patriots
endured,
fan.
I don't
Yeah.
talk
That is
to me
rough.
nice.
That is rough.
Talk to me nice.
That is rough.
You know how bad I wanted to talk shit,
That was
Oh,
that
yeah,
was
you
the
probably
last
wanted
time
to
you guys
strangle him.
won
You might
was
wanna
with
kill
Jamal
him.
Anderson, and that was the last.
bro.
Super
We've
Bowl.
never won a Super Bowl.
Right, ever, right? That's what I said. I remember you guys were great, though, back in the early 2000s with Jamal Anderson and them, the Dirty Birds. You're right. I remember that stupid dance. We used to do that in Pop Warner. When I played Pop Warner, you score a touchdown, you start getting in like that. I was like, it was hard back then. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Jamal
man,
Anderson,
so-
he was legit. He was something.
But yeah, matter of fact,
Wow,
matter
look
of
at
fact,
those yards. Look at
yeah.
the total yards.
Well, he's wilding.
Yeah,
But-
he fucking wilding.
So let's let the fans know, or the soon to be fans know, who we're obviously gonna have biases for every time they tune in to an episode. So,
Alright,
I'll
so-
start off. This is Macho. So my sports that I follow, I'm New York Yankees, which we're all in agreement
Yeah,
on.
yeah,
So that's
we're all-
going to be a good
we
baseball
all- we
season.
all
Is going to be
Yankees.
fun.
That's bigger than baseball.
Baseball
though.
season's gonna
You know,
be fun.
being a
That's
Yankees fan is
just
bigger
that's
than
just like a
baseball.
birthright.
It's almost you're almost like born into that.
You're
You
born
know what
into
I
that
mean?
shit.
It's in your
passed
blood.
down
It's in
and
your blood.
stuff. Yeah,
You were branded when you were born.
Bro, the Yankees is the only franchise to this day that's like bigger than like to me at least. And I'm not even a huge I don't watch every Yankee game when it comes on.
Yeah.
Yes,
Nah,
But
yeah, I can't.
To me, I have the most Yankee memorabilia in my house.
Yeah.
I've been a Yankee fan longer than I've been a fan of any other team in my. Just because I'm half Puerto Rican, so baseball is a big thing.
Yeah,
And so
Yes,
dad's
sir.
from,
Dad's
from
from
the
the
South
Bronx,
Bronx.
yeah,
Yeah,
sir.
facts. So
you're
you
just
gotta
born
be
into
fair.
it. That's why I said it's like a
Gotta be
passed
fair.
All
down
my
kind of
Puerto
thing. You know?
Riquas, man.
But yeah, nah, that Yankees. But go ahead though. I had to
But
let that
yeah,
in.
so Yankees
real.
for baseball. I'm a Miami Heat fan. in the NBA.
That's what I think of that.
My boys are wilding this year. My young boys.
Listen, Bam Adebayo is
Talk to
taking
me nice,
to the promised
but
land.
I ain't talking to you.
Big
nice.
Miami
Them
fans,
niggas
shout out D Wade,
garbage.
the greatest of all time. My guy,
Yeah,
Flash.
I'll give you that.
My guy, Flash. I'm the most loyal, man.
I've never heard anybody in my life say that D Wade's their favorite player of all time.
Come on, man.
That's a good point.
Because I
You know what I'm
have
saying?
the best.
Like, I've
point
heard
of view.
people put him up there, and like, you know what I'm saying, all-time players or whatever, but never their favorite.
Yes.
Well, but
You know what I'm
what,
saying?
But what is something to say about D Wade is that he was always looked at as a great player, like on and off the court, right? He was like one of those role models at the NBA.
He was a great teammate.
So he was all, and
You
he
know?
was a killer in his prime. So
He,
you know,
matter of fact, yo,
One of the
D
most
Wade,
clutch players
D
ever.
Wade had to be one of
see?
the greatest superstars of all time
It's all love over here for D
because of
Wade,
the
baby.
sacrifices
All love.
that he made. Like no other superstar in NBA
Yes.
history made the
Yes.
sacrifices
Talk
that D
to me
Wade
nice.
made. He was never
Yeah.
the highest paid Miami Heat player.
Talk to me
He got
nice.
3 rings and an MVP and still didn't get the money that
Talk
he.
to
You know what I'm
me
saying?
nice.
But
that's a fact.
the
That's
GOAT,
yeah,
man.
which
He's the GOAT,
you
man.
won't
You know,
ever
I
hear
don't-
that about Kobe
You know
or
who's
LeBron
kinda-
or Jordan or whatever the
but
case
on the
is.
low though, you know who's kind of embedded more than D Wade is? Udonis Haslam. They love him.
Nah, well he was like
They love
he
him
was
in 305.
D.
he
Facts,
was
right?
Come on,
he
man.
was
Yo,
birthed
they love him
he was
down
birthed
there,
at the
bro.
free
He's
throw
mud.
line on the Miami Heat.
From the mud.
Right.
Yeah,
exactly.
mud.
he was
Right.
yo he was
Mud.
birthed
He's
right
embedded.
there.
From the
He
mud.
was
So they
birthed right
love
there on
you.
the sideline.
So yeah,
cheerleader.
Miami Heat.
Cheerleaders signed his birth
Big Mott's
certificate.
rocking with Miami always
Pat
and
Riley's-
forever.
Pat Riley's his father.
So you was a Heat fan before
Nah.
they
Bro,
LeBron came and everything?
I have
Oh,
I have a
wow.
Lamar Odom Heat
Yeah,
jersey.
yeah.
So when LeBron
Stop
came,
playing with me.
wow, so it was like Christmas
Lamar
Day when he did
Odom.